Hey everyone, just popping on with a quick combination kit review and unveiling of a finished model. Did finish this one a couple months ago, but just decided to put this video together. Let me know if you like the format, the kind of combination review and unveiling. I'm going to splice in some still pictures of the model, which have better detail and lighting than what I can do right here. But this is the Trumpeter 1/35th scale KV-2 heavy tank, for lack of a better term. This is from early World War II, around the time of Barbarossa. It's a Soviet tank. It was basically a KV-1 heavy tank chassis with this 152 millimeter howitzer slapped on a massive turret to fit it on. Kind of intended as a self-propelled howitzer or assault gun. They only made about 300 of them, and there are a few variants. So I'm going to start really just telling you about the kit. It's cheap. It's one of the cheapest kits I bought recently. You can get it on eBay with free shipping in the US, running $20 to $25 most of the time, which is pretty dirt cheap. And it's a good kit. You don't always get that combination. A lot of good kits are pretty expensive. Of course, it's all styrene, but it actually comes with brass tow cables in the kit, which is kind of neat. A lot of times you have to pay aftermarket for them. And the other neat feature of the kit I liked a lot is the tracks. They actually give you two versions in the box. They give you the vinyl rubber band kind that are good if you're kind of a beginner or a kid and you just want to slap some tracks on it. But they actually give these link tracks that come with built-in sag, because the KV-2s had pretty ubiquitous sag. And I think, for link styrene tracks, they look good, and they're easy to make. And so for a really cheap price, you get a pretty accurate kit with some metal tow cables, which is nice. I really had no complaints about the engineering or the instructions of the kit. The box has some hilarious description material on the side, which is kind of a feature of Trumpeter kits occasionally. No problems with the build. I think my hull was ever so slightly warped, but that was easy to fix with some rubber bands. So if you're interested in the topic, KV-2 or Trumpeter has a whole line of KV-1 tanks, I really can't recommend them enough. For the price, I think they're one of the best kits on the market. Now, I built this one basically out of the box just as a kind of relaxing build, but there are a number of aftermarkets available. I was going to run through what I would suggest. Certainly you can build out of the box like I did. It comes out great. The aftermarket things you might be interested in, they do, of course, make a metal barrel for the gun. The kit gun looks fine. It's pretty easy to sand up and keep it round, but it's a massive howitzer, and if you look at the metal aftermarket barrels, they're actually rifled, and you can see the rifling on the inside of the bore. Pretty cool. Granted, it'll cost you about half the price of the kit, so you just decide if you want to spend the money. Of course, you can always upgrade to metal tracks, and they would look pretty awesome on this kit. And if you're doing it for competition or you just love metal tracks, I would consider it. But they're going to cost as much, if not more, than the base kit. And honestly, I think these plastic tracks do a pretty good job. They also make a complete photo etch set, which, I think the main advantage of is you get a little bit of a scale thickness on the fenders. But again, the kit fenders don't look too bad. So, if you're going for a big competition or something, I think it'd be neat. There are a couple of detail PE features I've seen that are neat that some people do. Like over here, that's actually a little pistol port. And I've seen a few people online drill it out and have a tiny PE chain with the port, open and the chain hanging down. And that looks pretty awesome. So you could consider any three of those upgrades. And of course, the light. This is just the kit light with some silver paint behind it to make it shine. I think the brake light turned out looking fine. But the headlight, you can get the little model railroad headlights that are much nicer than this. I would upgrade it too. So you could consider all of them. I don't think any are needed on this kit. As far as how I built the kit up, this kit's built up, basically in 2 days. The base paint is Mission Models, which I really like. It's a 4BO, which is like a base Russian, kind of the standard green they use in the Second World War. There's a little bit of chipping on it, but not a lot. There's a lot of oil paint rendering. I use whatever brands of oil paints I have lying around. Fair amount of pigment work, mostly with VMS pigments. I'm a big fan of them. Some other things, the exhaust, those are mostly done up in life color. They make a nice rust kit. It's like 4 or 5 colors of rust paint that I recommend. I don't like life color in general. It doesn't spray well through the airbrush, but it does well with rust. It's really flat, dries instantly, and it's great for like sponging, which you can do with rust. The one thing I did to the tracks that I think made them look really more real was these Ushi brand metal polishing powders. I can't rep these enough. Buy these. These are great. They make anything look like real metal. That's pretty much what I used to finish it. Trying to think if there's anything else neat to tell you about this kit. One thing, we did thin out these rust. This, of course, this mesh work could be replaced with PE and the big PE sets. That's about it. It's not a bad kit. It's a good kit. And if you factor in the price, it's probably the best kit for the dollar that I've built. Period. The end. I highly recommend these Trumpeter 135th KV-1 and KV-2 kits. I'll put a link down in the description of Adam Weidler has a great series of videos weathering and building up a KV-1. And you can kind of play along with him if you build your own and learn a lot of new weathering techniques. Oh, the decal. They look cool, right? It's a Soviet communist propaganda slogan. This actually says Za Stalin, apparently, if you translate it. Thankfully, some guys on Instagram helped me out and told me what it meant. These were put on a lot of Soviet tanks early in World War II. There is no photo evidence of decal or a saying like that, a slogan being painted on the side of the KV-2. So, use it at your own discretion, but I think it looks cool. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Hit me with any questions or suggestions for future videos.